So, did you know you need to stop praising and saying in the name of Jesus? And you need not to wait on Jesus to come, because the Jesus that you think is coming is not motherfucking coming. So, did you know that the first slave ship was not Amistad? The first ship name was Jesus. And did you also know that the Europeans tricked a lot of tribal people and told them if they got on that ship and came with them that they will live a good and prosperous life in the land of milk and honey? Okay? So, alright, you cannot be goofy right now about this. To all my little sleepwalkers, you need to wake the fuck up, okay? Because Jesus is not going to come from the sky. He going to come from the 7 seas he sailed to collect slaves and take to the land of milk and honey. Now, look at her. Did you know where to find milk and honey? On the farm. How? Cows, you milk them, you get milk. How do you get honey? You farm bees and you collect their honey. Okay? All right? So, I'm here to let you know, you need to stop saying in the name of Jesus and you waiting on Jesus to come. Okay? Because they created a ship that was named Jesus. And what color is wood? It is brown. My bad. And this brown ship named Jesus was full of Europeans that went to different countries and tribes and told these people if they got on that ship, if they left and went on Jesus and with Jesus, they will live on the land with milk and honey. Where do you find milk and where do you find honey? On a farm. What was a farm called back then? A plantation. Now, if the ship name is Jesus and you follow or you let Jesus guide you or you're on board with Jesus and he takes you to the land of milk and honey, that would be a farm. But back then it wasn't called a farm. It was called a plantation, right? And Jesus brought you to God. So if Jesus was the ship name and he brought you to the land of milk and honey, which is a farm where cows and they keep bees, and back then it was called a plantation, and God dwells in the land of milk and honey, what does that make God? Oh, your master. Massa. 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 Ain't that what y'all used to call? Master or massa? A boss? That part. Yeah. So you sitting up here. That's why you don't go by what the fuck your oppressors say. Because, once again, they just tricked y'all dumbasses into slavery again. Because, again, Jesus was a slave ship name. And then to cover up that Jesus was a slave ship, they take a king, Leonardo, painted the picture. Was it Leonardo? Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci drew the photo of the so-called, the image of Jesus. When in reality, Jesus was the ship, but they used the fair-skinned king to pose as it. But in reality, Jesus was a slave ship. A ship that brought slaves over. And see, this is before they started literally kidnapping and just taking slaves. This is when they was tricking slaves, but they couldn't trick slaves no more because they peep game. So then this is where the ship Amistad, whatever the fuck the name of that ship was called, came into play. But just so you dumb fucks know, you dummies, you big fucking stupid dummies, while you talking about us spiritualists and us people who are with true religion, stop listening to your oppressors and stop going by what your oppressors say, because you talking about you waiting on Jesus to come down. Jesus is going to come onto shore for your ass. So if you see a giant boat come, just know that might be Jesus. And if you get on that boat, just know the land that is milk and honey that you going to is Master's plantation. And you're going to be a beekeeper and you're going to be milking motherfucking cows. So the next time you want to diss our nation of people because we choose not to want to jump on that ship that you so desire to get on, to go to the land of milk and honey and milk cows and harvest honey until the day you fucking die, that's on you. But don't try to convince us to be the slave with your ass, because we're not doing it. I'm sorry. So, you better off being fucking atheist before being a rider for Jesus Christ. Because Jesus was a ship that brought slaves to Europe and America. The land of milk and honey was the farm, which back then was called a plantation. And the God of that land of milk and honey, which was the farm and plantation, is called the farmer, which is the master. And you wonder why I call you fucking slaves? That part. Know your shit. Know your roots. Know the stem of where things come from before you practice, preach it, and worship it. Because look at you dummies. Waiting on a ship named Jesus to come take you to a plantation to milk cows and farm bees.